Hey guys, so I made a video a while ago about the bait tank that I have, and I mentioned that I trap my own bait for ice fishing. So I wanted to show you guys what I use to trap my own bait, sort of how I do it, and the minimum stuff that you need to get going with it. So I'll show you here what I got. This is basically what I use here. Kind of go over a few things. These are the minnow traps if you've never used one. This is probably the best minnow trap you can buy right here. It's the G's minnow trap. I mean, for your money anyways. It works really well. They're really rugged, really well built. And I have two of these. Not all my traps are here right now. I have some that are set out in the pond right now. And I lost a few this fall in a stream. I got stuck under a rock in the current and stuff like that, so there's a rope broke or things like that. So I've got a few left, but I got two of these and one of this kind. This is just a kind that you can get for like $10 or $7 or something, and it got pretty beat up one year. I got it stuck in a stream, so it kind of got bent up quite a bit. So I just touched it up with some white paint and widened out the holes. I use this for really big shiners, suckers, for pike bait. Another reason I really like these is because the state of Maine requires that you label your traps with your name and the telephone number, address, things like that. So like with these ones, it's just a really thin wire around there, and I had to make a tag here out of a milk crate and stick it on there, zip tie it on. But with these ones, you can write right around the rim of it like that. So some other stuff I got here. This is just a military bag, but I bought this. This fits all of my gear in it, including the 5-gallon bucket. I usually use a smaller bucket, like a 3 or 3.5 gallon, whatever the heck it is, but everything will fit in there except for my auger and my chisel, so I'm not carrying 100 things out there, and I don't have to use a sled or anything. And these things are really, really rugged. They're built, for the military, and they're gonna last a long time, and they can carry a lot. They can stand a lot of weight. And you can see I got this on eBay from someone that sells a bunch of them. You can see it has someone's name on there. So whoever that is, Brock J, if you were in the military, thank you for your service. I got this thing, which you'll see. I'm gonna show a video of me picking up my traps at the end of this little segment here and show you kind of what it looks like when I'm out there. But these right here, I make these out of just some just little fence material, and basically it's what I use to put my bait inside of. And so I stick all my bait down in this tube down in there, and then I close it up and then stick it in my trap instead of dumping the bait just in the trap. And what that does is when you close it up, once your bait's in that mesh little tube there, it goes to the bottom of the trap, and it's not floating all through the trap. And if you just kind of stick it in there freely, just dump some bait in there, whatever you're using for bait, the fish can pick at it from the outside without actually going into the trap. But if you have some type of mesh container on the inside that you put your bait inside of, they have to actually go inside the trap to get at the food, and you'll catch more fish that way, more bait. And basically the idea of this is the fish go in this little hole here and they can't get back out. I'm sure some do, but the majority of them don't get out. So what I use for bait is dog food. Just the cheapest dog food you can find. A couple bucks for a big bag of it. And I try to get the bigger pieces just so it doesn't go through the mesh. Some people even use wet cat food, the tins, and they poke holes in the top and that leaches out for a few days. But I keep it in a dry bag, this little dry bag here, just because a lot of days when you're out there, you're on the ice, slushy water, rain, snow, and you don't want to get this bait wet. You want to keep it fresh. So I keep it right in a cheap little dry bag like that. First time out, when I'm first going out to set my traps, I bring this auger out. This is just a 6-inch hand auger, and basically I'll use it to drill the holes to put the traps in, but you have to kind of get creative with it. So what I usually do is I'll drill 4 holes in a square pattern. So one here, one right next to it, and then 2 more below it. And then I'll just chisel out that middle piece and around the edges, and that'll break free, and then it's wide enough to stick a trap down in the hole. And you'll see that better when we go out to pick up one of my traps. And you're probably wondering what these are. This is for when there's ice on the pond. This is for making your trap suspend in the water column at whatever depth you want. So basically you put this trap down in your hole, and then this thing will sit on top of the ice like this, so your hole's under here and this is sitting on the ice, and you can reel it up a little higher so it's off the bottom, or you can put it on the bottom or just under the ice. And I put minnow traps so people know what they are, stay clear or caution or something like that, so they don't get close to the hole. And that works really well. And I have a lot of line on here because in the fall, before there's ice, I take these right off and I just have a handful of line so I can throw it way out into a stream or a little bog or something, and then reel it in a little bit and set it where I want it to, and have it set up in the right direction and everything. I'm just using that 550 paracord on here, and that's plenty strong enough. And I like the darker colors, green and black, because it camouflages it a little bit more. If something stands out like that orange right there, you're more apt to have it stolen. So the other thing you want to use on early ice especially is a pair of ice picks that you want to wear around your neck. And you've all seen these before. This is, of course, someone that has handmade these, but if you fall through the ice, you're wearing this around your neck. Pull that apart, and then you can stab these into the ice and crawl out. So that's a handy thing to have. You definitely need a chisel. Don't need anything too special. When you go out to pick up your traps, you don't need the auger again. You just bring the chisel out. As long as you haven't let it sit for a week or so, you can chisel it right back out with this. So that's basically just a little bit of gear I use to trap bait all winter long. So we'll go out and we'll go check one of my traps right now and see what we got. Alright guys, so I'm walking out to my set, and I've got my pack on, wearing that, got my chisel. That's all I'm bringing. I'm not bringing an auger or anything because I already got a hole set out there. Yeah, I just need to chisel it out and take my traps out. So when you get there, I'll bring you back. I see my trap right out there. Actually got 2 of them right there. We just had a bit of rain, so it's a little sketchy. Got 2 traps in here. There's 2. Nice. So I got some good shiners, guys. Got some shiners here. Not a lot. Got some nice ones, got some dace. A lot of dace in here. A few small shiners. Not bad. Alright guys, so that was the first trap. You can see I got this stick right here, this little mesh cage. That's why I put my bait in, and it keeps them from pecking at it from outside the cage. They have to go inside of it, unlike this one. Alright guys, so I rebaited this trap right here, and I'm going to put it back in for another couple days or so. Seemed like that one did pretty good right on bottom. If it's going to snow, if there's a bunch of snow, I usually stick an evergreen bough sticking up so someone can see it. And I had these 2 traps soaking for, 3 to 4 days, I think, about 4 days. And it's only about 5 feet deep right here. That's what I got for bait. Whole bunch of minnows in there. Quite a nice haul, I'd say. Bunch of dace. I don't really use those too much, but. and then that bucket basically fits right back in this bag. I can carry it all back out on my back. It's pretty easy. Well guys, I'm all loaded up. I just put one trap back. I'll probably come back in a few days, pick that up, and hopefully I'll have enough bait for the winter. Got my 5-gallon bucket right in the bag. The only thing I'm carrying is my chisel. I put both my traps in that one hole only because the day I set that, I'd already drilled 3-4 holes in a couple different ponds, and I was tired, so I just stuffed them both down that hole at different depths. Alright guys, so when I get home, here's my bait. I set up a couple of pails here, and then I pretty much sort the bait out. I'm gonna put all my shiners in here, all of my dace in here, and then all the stuff I don't want, pollywogs, dead fish, stuff like that, goes in there. So, and then once I sort those all out, I'll put all the shiners in my bait tank, and I have a video on this bait tank, how I built it, how it runs and everything. As far as where to go to trap fish shiners, that's really just going to be trial and error for you, but Google Earth, check out Google Earth around where you live. If you can find any really small ponds, you know, little farm ponds, golf courses, parks, things like that, and just ask for permission. The worst thing you can do is just go out and start trapping a pond, and then you know, they get kicked out or someone steals your traps and they don't want you out there. So the best thing you can do is just ask for permission. The worst they're going to say is no. And that's what I did. I trapped most of my bait in a public park type area. It's an organization, and they asked if I could trap some bait for them for a fish tank that they have for a kids program that they do. So I donated some of the bait to them. So I was helping them out at the same time, and they didn't care, and I was happy to do it. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. See you guys later.